What is going on, guys? Today I'm gonna try to build on the just little guides for new players. Even to the point, guys, I was so committed to this that I even created a new account. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys are probably cringing, thinking, "Oh my God, he's actually gonna put himself through that." And one of the reasons is to be able to have like fresh content, be more relatable to players that are starting off the game. And I've done a project before. It was my free to play project, and I that lasted a month and a half. I did that for a month and a half, and then I stopped playing on that account. I'll touch on that and the stuff that I learned as a free to play player. Um, so yeah, let's touch on the free to play aspect of this game. So I went completely free to play on that account, right? And I'll show you guys real quick. Um, Here's that account right here. Uh, I think I was able to get to like 7.5 or 7.5 or 8 million power. And I was like relatively active. I'm saying on that account I was able to do like basic stuff. Like waste my CP, gather a little bit, do my daily stuff. Um, but not like an absolute grind. And what I will say about my free to play experience, it was absolutely miserable. Like flat out miserable. Um, One of the first things that I did was I'm free to play, right? So I couldn't buy the second builder queue. I couldn't buy the second builder queue, so I had to waste the 5,000 gems, and then I got my VIP up. But ultimately, I always found myself lacking heavy in the gold stars for the accounts here. So you have to make sure that you use your stars very strategically, right? Um, Very strategically with your stars, even your purple stars for these commanders. You don't want to just start spamming everywhere just because it shows that you can upgrade it. You want to make sure that you're being very strategical with what you're doing, right? So the whole free to play aspect, guys, like I get it. Like some people don't want to spend the money. Other people it just doesn't fit their budget. But I will say that if you love gaming and gaming is your hobby and you're spending a lot of time on the game, I strongly recommend to go at the minimum of a low spend project, right? And yeah, because as a free to play player, like you're able to enjoy the game a little bit. But when it comes to like war, a few waves and you're done, you're out. Your commanders are not that strong. You don't have any artifacts. You have to play very ratty. In other words, you have to make sure that you're not even taking a 1v1 out in the field. You're kind of in the back line, just poaching at people, or what's known as kiting, back and forth, and make sure once you're like yellow bar, you take the time to go back to your city and then come back out, because as you guys know, um, I think it's once you're yellow bar, you take double the sev wounds or something like that. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't know. Someone correct me in the comments what the actual number is, but I think it's something like that. So that's some of the things that I learned as a free to play player, right? Um, but yeah, I strongly recommend that you guys, uh, if you're actually enjoying the game, I really recommend you guys to spend a little bit of money, and I will show you guys what that looks like. I'll talk a little bit about the budget later on. But so off the rip, this is gonna be an unpopular opinion. It is what it is. This is my opinion. One thing that I suggest for you guys, as you guys are taking on the journey of playing Call of Dragons, you listen to all the content creators out there. There's a lot of amazing ones out there, but don't take it for gospel or Bible or like what I'm saying, for it to be facts. Everyone ultimately is a lot of opinions. Some are a little bit more popular than others, right? But anyway, so for in the beginning, the faction that I went with was the Spring Wardens. right? I went with the Spring Wardens. A lot of people tell you to go League of Order because you get Waldir off the rip, um, and then you can do Lilia, right? And then you can build it like that. I will say this, guys. I will say this. A lot of stuff really depends on your spend level, but I the way that I think is a good way to go is to go Spring Wardens, and here's why, right? Especially as a low spend. On this account, I think I've spent like $5 only on this account. I'll tell you guys the $5. I'll show you guys what it was. Um, I spent the $5 and sorry. I spent the $5. I was able to unlock the second builder queue. But anyways, so I went with Spring Warden. Why? So some of you guys are like, it's probably better to go Mage because Mage, you got that open field. You're able to fight out there. So one of the things that I learned, guys, as a low spend player, what are some of the ways? What are some of the ways to be able to get into some of the stronger alliances, right? And I'll tell you guys exactly what I did in my free to play account that I plan on doing on this low spend account as well. So on my free to play account, as you guys can imagine, like I didn't have much power, right? On my free to play account, when I went here to personal power, I wasn't even in the rankings, right? So my chances of getting into one of the strongest alliances was slim to none. All I really had was my knowledge of the game and the fact that I went archers. And the reason why I went archers is because as these raids become open, guys, right here, the bear one not so much, right? The bear one not so much. Oh, sorry about that. Triggered this. Anyways, the bear one not so much, and the giant one, eh. But for sure, when you get to the rock, once you get to the rock, that's when, especially the elite, that's when it starts getting a little bit harder, right? So what I did was I was able to get into the fam. So here's the kind of like the play that you got to do, right? You figure out who's the strongest alliance in your server, right? Top left, right here. Um, you go to personal power, and then, or not necessarily the strongest, but at least one of the top ones, right? So for here, we got the Warhorse clan. They're what? They're at 16 million. Okay, they're at 16 million. League of Warriors, they're at 8 million. Okay. Okay, what else we got? This is kind of how you got to do it, right? Then you go here. Okay, Dark Warrior. Check them out, 15 million. Okay, so they're up there as well. So they have the DW1 and then the Warhorse clan. So, and then you got to when you go look at it, you go see, okay, let's see. I'm probably not strong enough to be in the top alliance because I'm not a big spender, but maybe they have like a family alliance that I can get into, right? So their family is WLFO and squiggly line WC squiggly line, right? And they also have academies. You want to try to get into the second one if possible, right? You want to try to get into the second one. So once you get into that second alliance, that's going to essentially open up your ability to grow within the game. And let's just say you decide to spend a little bit more, right? You can then make your way over to the main alliance. So it's like a good portal. But a good way into the main alliance also when you're not spending too much money is you get into the family alliance, right? And now they're gonna be struggling with the elite raids, which they will. They will. There's always comes times where, a lot of players aren't there. So what you do is you come out and you set up your camping chair, right? And a lot of the times you'll see it in the Discord, right? Because a lot of the main alliance and then the family alliance will have they'll send out a mail like, hey guys, we're doing a raid at X time, 50k archers only, or sorry, like 100k archers only, 140k archers. I think for the rock, and can't remember, probably 145, 170, somewhere around there. Archers only, right? Now, if you went mages, right, and you've been leveling up. Let me turn this audio off here. Sorry about that. Sound. Turn this off. Okay, so if you went mages, you're not making it. They're not picking you up. I don't care if you have an awakened Lilia, and a decently ranked Velen, like they're not picking you up, bro. There's like archers only or nothing. They might pick you up if you're archer main and they have no one else. Potentially, that may still work, but the whole point is you want to do well. So when you do good, they're like, oh damn, like this guy knows how to do raids, and they look at your account. They're like, okay, he's active, right? He has a decent amount of helps. He's farming, yada yada yada, right? All that stuff comes into play. So that's why I recommend to go archers first. Because on top of that, a lot of people are going to be going mages, and you can counter a lot of the mages out in the field as long as you're playing smart and not overextending your archers and kind of just roaming on the line, right? Let your higher power players get out there and, kind of like stand behind them and kind of play a little ratty, um, and pick off those mage marches. So, and then you'll get really good trades. You get really good trades, you're going to get good merits. On top of that, guys, another reason to go to have archers, um, is because whenever you start doing merit trading and keeps, archers run it. Like archers are the ones that run those keeps. Like if you send mages to keeps, like GG, bro, like you're gonna get wrecked by someone like me, a low spend player with an awakened, um, with an awakened Guanwin and a 5111 Kanara. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it is, dude. Um, what's another reason for the archers? Um, Yeah, those are the two big reasons, right? In duels, you can get into raids better. Being able to get it in raids, you can camp outside, look for those Discord messages, and kind of work your way in, right? Because that's what I did in my free to play, right? I camped outside the rock, and they're like, okay, invite him, and I joined. I did well. I was like at least in the top 40% for damage dealing, and I was like the second to last weakest player. Why? Because I had good archers, bro. I had good archers. My Guanwin was max, and I think at the time, because I missed out on the Kanara, which I'll get to that part. Um, I think I had Guanwin and Nico. Yeah, I had Guanwin and Nico, and my Nico was 5111. I got kind of lucky with Nico. So yeah, you're gonna go with the Spring Warden and kind of choose that. 1 second, Cha. What happened? Let me see, Pops. There? Okay, good to go. My little son. So that's kind of what you go. You go with the archer start. So in the beginning, right? It kind of like reeling it back a little bit. It's like, how do you even get into these family alliances, bro? You have to make sure, guys. So if you kind of miss your window, you might want to consider waiting and starting in another server, potentially, right? And here's why. Because in the beginning, you want to make sure whenever you're going to create an account that you have enough time to at least grind like a good amount during the day, several hours, I would say, at least like 2 or 3 hours. And you want to get to a point where you're just boosting through stuff. Obviously, you want to make sure that you're getting your helps and whatnot. But yeah, get into an alliance, guys, off the rip, right? Boom, boom, boom. As soon as you're able to build an alliance center, you go to join alliance. You click who's accepting people, like in the area that seems to be the most active that you can kind of get into, and then you start getting your helps, right? Start getting your helps, then you're gonna start boosting all your buildings, right? Boost all your buildings up, but not every single one, right? You want to come here to your sacred hall, and then when you click upgrade, it'll give you a prerequisite of what buildings you need to upgrade. And those are the main ones that you need to focus on to get your sacred hall up, right? And then while your sacred hall is building up, some people say, "Oh, don't push any buildings, don't use speed ups." Like, dude, in the beginning, you have to use speed ups because you want to get to that minimum power that they're requiring either for the main alliance or at least to get into the family alliance. Like I said, it all depends on your budget. It all depends on your server's budget because you could be potentially in a server where people aren't really spending that much money, which looks like some people are a little bit here. This guy's 1.6 million power. 1.3 million power. Okay, okay. I see them. I see them. Um, yeah. So that's what it is there. So yeah, make sure you only do the buildings that's required to upgrade your Sacred Hall, and then while your Sacred Hall or City Hall or whatever it's called, depending on the faction you choose. Hope you take my advice and choose the one that I told you to choose. But anyways, um, and then from there you while this is upgrading, let's just say you get to the point like, oh, like man, like this grind is starting to wear down on me, like I need to take a break. Try to get to the point where your city hall is building up, right? Try to make it to where while you're sleeping, stuff is cooking, right? When you get to that point in the account, like you're in a pretty good spot because you don't necessarily want to go to sleep while your build queues are down, right? Because so let's just say you sleep 8 or you slept in your or 10 hours. Every hour that goes by, essentially you're falling behind. And if you add that up throughout the week, um, if you add that up throughout the week, it ends up being a lot. It ends up being a lot. Um, and see, like right now, I have my queues going. I'm building the sages up, my sacred hull up, going with that. Okay, so now you're in the position kind of you're getting what I'm saying, right? Make sure that you check the prereqs for your city hall and build that up. But if you get to the point where I'm at now, like okay, it's 9 hours now for my sacred hall. I'm in the lines that I need to be in the right path, right? They're building towers. The officers are setting markers. They have a Discord. You know what I'm saying? Um, People are talking in the lines chat. These are all good things to look at. And you can see like who are the experienced officers, right? Especially when you join a Discord or when you go to Alliance Mail, right? If you go to Alliance Mail, there's no alliance decrees right now, so that's honestly kind of a bad sign for this alliance that I'm in, but it's okay. This is like I said, these are all just starting points. Maybe they're new officers and they need help, right? Because you'll notice it. You'll join an alliance and then boom, you'll see the alliance decree like, hey, welcome to this alliance. These are our expectations. These are the rules. Yada yada yada. Those are all good signs, right? We'll go into that. That could be a separate video. But yeah, you make sure that you're building this. And now we're gonna go into the budget side. And what I'm gonna tell you guys, the budget that I'm telling you guys is a very low spend budget, but you can still progress in the game pretty well. So I would say in the very beginning, the first thing you need to buy is the secondary builder, right? Which is $5. It's $5. You can either buy it in game, or my recommendation is to use the Pluto Mall. If you know that you're gonna spend probably $50 to $100 more, I would definitely go to the Pluto Mall. That way you avoid paying like a shit ton of taxes and whatever Apple and the App Store freaking charge you. But anyways, um, damn, I just had a brain fart what I was saying. Yeah. So the build queue, right? As soon as you get the build queue, it's going to give you a free Lilia, which is crazy on its own, right? It's going to give you a free Lilia, and then it's going to move you into a new bundle here that is new, guys. We didn't have this in our season 1, which I'm a little jealous. I'm a little jealous. This bundle is actually crazy. Look at this. For only 1,000 gems, right? When you accumulate a total of 1,000 gems from buying stuff, um, you unlock Valen, which is nuts, right? So, besides me telling you, advising you guys to go Archer main in the beginning, you're also building up a nice little mage march on the side for damn near nothing, for $5 for doing the second builder, right? That way you can still progress your account well. And then as you buy stuff here, you start getting a little bit more stuff. Look at this. Look at the speed ups, bro. Like it's actually crazy the amount of value here. It's actually wild. That might be its own little separate thing, just in case some people didn't make it to this far in the video. They can see that this bundle is actually crazy. I would have to spend like another five, maybe $10, and I'll get all these speed ups. Like crazy, crazy. Okay, so once you get the once you get that second build queue, um, when you go to your School of Sages, right? When you go to your School of Sages, you want to make sure that let me see. I'm gonna upgrade this just literally just for the purposes of this video, so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Um, Wait the 3 seconds. Boom, right? So another reason to make sure that you're still upgrading your School of Sage as well is to make sure that you get the buff right here. You get the buff. Hold on, click it here, click top right, right? So you get the buff, you get more research bonuses, right? So you're able to research a lot faster. So in the beginning, one of the things that I recommend you guys to do is get to Architecture 1 right here. You get the plus 15% build speed. And so it allows you to get to the point where we're at right now. And then I would say after this, because then you have to have a level 10 to go on forward here, right? Because then you would go. So one of the focuses for the econ tree, you want to make sure you get your architecture 1, do all the prereqs you got to do, and then get to scholarship 1, get that maxed up as far as you could. Same thing, once you make it even further down the road, architecture 2, and then scholarship 2. Those are the main key things for the econ tree. You don't have to go ham on all these other ones. They're good, especially some of the stamina or the CP ones are good as well. But you want to make sure that the research speed and your build speed are the ones that are going hard, right? That you're focusing those down and getting them up as high as possible. Because I know some players that kind of slack on this and they're doing like 20, 30-day research queues, and they're not even and their research is not even up, right? And as far as your military tech, once your econ tree is where it needs to be in terms of architecture or scholarship, just make sure you're doing the minimum prereqs within what you're focusing. Let's just say you're focused melee units, you're focusing on the melee side, et cetera, right? And then especially for the archers, you're focusing on what you need for your archers. Eventually, you gotta all these tier 1 upgrades here. You're gonna need all of them anyways, right? Once you get here, you can kind of focus more on the range side. Um, we'll do more videos down the road. This is literally just part 1 of my beginner's guide. Um, because we're only day 1 into this brand new account. So as the days goes by, and I see new things that I can put on here for advice, that's what I'll give you guys. So okay, so we talked a little bit about that. Okay, so another other thing too in terms of building order, you can do the sacred hall. Once you finish a sacred hall, right? The first thing you need to upgrade, guys, is your alliance center. Once you upgrade your alliance center, which I need to upgrade my Alliance Center here. Um, can we do it now? Boom. Upgrade the Alliance Center, and what this does, you can look at it like free speed ups right here, guys. You can look at it as free speed ups. So each help that it gives you, you can get more helps, and each help that you get helps you get your speed ups, your speeds faster. So for example, Sacred Hall level 9, right? For the 11 helps, we reduced it an hour and 20 minutes, right? Might not seem like that much, but if you're doing a lot of min-maxing, you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see what I'm talking about. It definitely adds up ultimately, especially down the road, uh, for the higher level stuff. Okay, so that pretty much covers that. So other ways, I think so once you do that $5 bundle, right? Once you do that little $5 bundle for the builders, one of the things that it's gonna do for you, it allows you to get a bunch of keys. It allows you to get a bunch of gold keys with the purchase playback, right? If you see here, it gave me the 20 gold keys. And with those gold keys, what it allows you to do, something to help buff up your power, right? Something to buff up your power that's going to help you out substantially when you go to the altar here, right? And let's just say, well, just for these purposes only, you open it and you get a legendary hero. these legendary heroes, as you guys can see, I've only spent $5, guys. Like I said, I've only spent $5. I already got Bakshi, I already got Nika, I already got Emrys, Garwood, Thea, Velen, Lilia. So each one of these heroes gives you some power towards your like total power. I'm not sure exactly how much power. I know it says hero power right here. I'm not sure if that's the exact number in terms of uh, what it adds to your account. I'm not 100% positive on that, but the heroes buff you up big time. So make sure that you're leveling that up as well. Um, right now, I kind of just been using my Guanwin when I go out there. I have my multi create set up already. Um, I've only been using my Guanwin, but you can use two. I would say focus on the one that you're going to be using for behemoths. That we have a larger behemoth size, or sorry, a larger march size to fight the behemoths. But yeah, that's a way to boost your power to help you get into these stronger alliances as well. Um, and yeah, the hero power. And then on top of that, one of the things that you want to do, shout out to my boy Gray Balls. Um, these artifacts, any artifact that you get, make sure you just throw it on. Obviously, you can throw it on specifically for what they are, right? Like if it's for magic, put magic, archers, calves, infantry, you put it on infantry. But if you have other artifacts that are not being used by anyone, you kind of just throw them on whoever you want. We have that bow one right there, because that's gonna add more. You equip it, boom, it adds even a little bit more power to your total power, so you're gonna reach 190 power, or 190k power there now. So your heroes are huge to you power, so make sure that you do that. Um, yeah, I think those are all like the main topics that I've hit, guys. Yeah, if there's anything that I didn't hit, make sure you guys let me know in the comment section. But that's initially the main things that you guys gotta focus on. You have your scouting that you gotta do. Make sure you guys do your scouting. That's actually a good point. Make sure you do your scouting, right? Because you have all this free stuff here. It's not much, but like I said, if you're trying to optimize your account and have it be as good as possible, make sure that you're staying on top of your scouting. Um, Make sure when you send it out, you make it stay in place for 12 hours after exploring. That way, it doesn't go all the way back to your city. Um, that's gonna help you out there. And then, like I said, guys, once you get, ultimately, you want to end up in a good alliance, right? That's one of the main goals when you're first starting. So when you do that, hey, nice. Oh, look at this. Okay. Once you get into a good alliance, then you can chill a little bit on pushing power. You can kind of look at your bulletin board or whatever and see like recruitment power and see what is like the minimum amount of power needed. That way you kind of know where you're at, right? When you go to personal power, I'm like, okay, I'm ranked 46. I'm ranked 46 out of 56. I'm like, I'm kind of in the best spot, but I mean, this member slot number is gonna go up a lot, 80 to 100. So you kind of want to be in a healthy spot there. Like if you're starting to be in the bottom 10, yeah, you might want to start pushing power a little bit more because you want to try to stay in these alliances as long as possible, to be able to collect these chests right here. So no one's really spending too heavy in this alliance that we're in, but that's fine. Like I said, we have goals and little steps that we got to do to get to where we need to get. Um, oh yeah, the budget that I was talking about. So you do the second build queue here, all right, and then it's like, well, okay, what's the next best thing to do? The monthly packs, these right here, $5 and $7, or sorry, $5 and $3. That's gonna put you up to $8. I would say at the minimum do the advanced monthly pack, but I strongly recommend to pay the $8 a month for this. I strongly recommend, right? If you're not gonna do the second builder queue, right? Do this for sure, absolutely for sure, because you get 600 gems a day, which ultimately, at the end of a 30-day month or so, you'll get about 18,000. And those gems will allow you to buy the second builder queue, right? If you're trying to save a little bit of money, it'll allow you to buy the second builder queue. It'll allow you to save up some gems to spin Kanara, right? And then after the monthly packs, I would say the next big thing to get is the growth fund. The growth fund is crazy OD, especially once you get to these levels right here, 21, 23, 25, which will be down the road, maybe a month or two, maybe three, depending on how much you're spending. Um, yeah, and you'll be able to get all these gems there. And then after the growth fund, I would say go ahead and get this right here. The right here. The lights inspiration. They have like a $10. They have a oh wow, they only have it for $10. Maybe it's like a season one thing. I don't know if for all season this is discounted, but for this video specifically focus on the newer player. Um you get this right here. 7 days off. That's gonna be huge for when you get to your T4 research. Right? You get 15 G1 tokens. That's gonna be huge for when you get Kanara. Um, right? You get 2K gems. Like it's just crazy value, guys. That would be the next one, right? And when you see here, it's also gonna give you more points that you can get for your daily stuff that you get, and you'll be able to get all this stuff here, which ultimately it ends up really good value. These 7 day speed ups are crazy. Those 7 day speed ups are huge, guys. Like massive for the $10 and you get resources, CP. The stars are huge. The stars are huge because you'll be hurting for stars, guys. Trust me. You'll be hurting for stars. You get some artifact keys, 15, doing all that there. And then ultimately one of the big ones is this right here. That way you're able to at least get some shadow blades, I would say. Especially as an archer main, for sure the shadow blades. Um, They also have a city theme here if you end up going mages. That can be up for debate. Let me know with that one in the comments what you guys think of that. Do you guys think it's better to have a 5% attack for all your magic units or go for artifact instead? I don't know. I don't know. You guys let me know. Um, but yeah, guys, that's going to be it for our first beginner's guide. Next videos we'll go a little bit more into detail and trying to determine like what is a good alliance. It's probably going to be a good one coming up. Like I'll probably do a tier list for season 1 uh based off being focusing on archers first. So for me, I'm gonna be focusing for this one at least. I'll be doing Guanwin and Kanara. It's gonna be my focus for this season. 'Cause Kanara, people are still using Kanara to this day. 7 months down the road, people are still using Kanara. Like she's huge. She's huge. So if you guys have any more ideas for videos that I can do to give more new players tips, let me know, guys. I know I'll probably miss something. Who knows? I feel like I hit a lot of the meat and potatoes. Also, you guys can catch me live on twitch.tv YT I'll drop that link in the descriptions box. So, if you see me live, you can just ask me in live time and I reply to absolutely everyone and any kind of questions that you have. I Yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed the content. Please help me being active in the comments if you have any questions or you have any ideas for other things in terms of what players should be focusing on, right? Because even new players will see that in the comment section, like, oh, that's a good point that he brought that up, right? um, and share it with someone. If you have like a buddy that's new to the game and you're like, damn, I really don't have time to explain 20, 30 minutes of stuff that they should be focusing on. So I'm just going to send them over to Guns channel. So, yeah. With that being said, guys, it's your boy Guns here. I'm outie. Later.